cheer. I know you got the cheer. You have shaked it loose. You're relaxed. You are out there with the crowd. Go get them. Go get them, y'all. Get those gifts. Get them now. Because you know what? Guess what? You only got what? Christmas days, that is. Christmas shopping days, that is. You've got 6. Let me count for you. 6, y'all. It looks like a lot, but it's not. By the time you count down 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the next thing you know, you wake up in the morning and it's Christmas. You burnt your Christmas tree lights all night long. I don't know about y'all. That's what I used to do. On Christmas Eve, that was about the only night that I would actually burn the Christmas tree all night long. I would, turn when I got ready to go to bed at night, up until maybe about 11 or 12 o'clock when I got ready to go to bed at night, I would turn the Christmas tree off. Because back then, there was a lot of Christmas trees that were being caught on fire. I think they're more safe today than they were back then in that day. But I used to let it stay on as long as I was up. But the night before Christmas, I would burn it all night and all day as long as I was home. Because usually we would go by my parents' house or his parents' house or something like that for dinner, which I cooked at home. And we would also have food at home as well. So we had double headers. And then I had a niece, may her soul rest in peace. Her name is Michelle. And Michelle used to come to stay with us like on Christmas, on the holiday, every holiday. And she was a big girl. She was like 6'7". I think she might have weighed about 400 or 500 pounds. She was, my brother's only daughter, and she died. She passed away. I forgot how many years ago now. Maybe 30. I know she was in her 30s. She was very young, in her 30s. But she used to spend the Christmas with us, because I have a daughter, her and my daughter about maybe a year apart in age, my oldest daughter. So they were buddy buddy, believe it or not. But yeah, they were buddy buddy. Yes, they were. And my daughter, my oldest daughter, loved her. She just loved her. Matter of fact, all my children loved her. And she was this type of person that did not meet a stranger. And her mother was like that. That's how, her mother and I was friends in high school. Matter of fact, when I first came up to North, her mother is the first person. She was also a heavy set woman, but she wasn't quite as tall as Michelle. And I had met her when I was in the ninth grade. I met her mother in the ninth grade. And then, they came over to my house and met my brother. My brother and her got hooked up, and that's how they got Michelle. Yeah. And so, my mother also passed away at a young age. I ain't put no damper on the parade, y'all. I was just trying to make a point, just tell you, what was going on with Michelle, how sweet a person. I mean, she didn't take no junk either, but I'm just saying, she was a very likable person. And when they had her services, there was standing room only. It was so many people in there. It was just she never met a stranger. And like I said, her mother was something like that as well. And so, I met the mother's mother. I met her other grandmother as well. Now, her other grandmother was like that as well. They would just meet you, and that you become like it's just like you're not a stranger. They never met a stranger. It was like everybody, I don't know even know how to describe it. I really don't, but I'm pretty sure you probably have passed through life with someone like that. That that you just don't feel like a stranger around them. They make you feel so comfortable, and they have a sense of humor. Oh yeah, I never forget the grandmother used to say her favorite word was "God bless the milk cow." Oh man, that brings back memories, because I used to go visit them at their house and everything. So I met a lot of the family members and, back in the day. But I just thought about Michelle today and how she used to come spend the holidays with us. And we had like a special bed for her to sleep on and all that. I think it was like a ironstead bed. You ever heard of ironstead bed? It's made of, and the spring is like it's like a cot. Because, as a matter of fact, my youngest daughter used to sleep on that. That used to be her bed. And I think my husband, he had gotten that bed from, I think he got it from where he worked, the VA. He worked at the VA hospital. I don't know if they had the bed there. I don't know. I don't really don't know. I'll tell you the truth. But I know he was working at the VA at the time. Anyway, this bed is like this part, the headboard is like that. It's sort of round like that, and it's made of iron. It's real heavy duty, the head and the foot of the bed. And then there was no box spring, but it was a spring, but it was flat, which is something I had never seen. That's why I guess you would call it a cot. But it had like a regular mattress on it, like a single bed mattress. And that bed lasted us a long time. I wish I had kept that bed because there really wasn't nothing wrong with it. Wish I had kept it. I could have, taken it apart, and if I had somewhere to store it, I would have put it in storage. That's where she used to sleep, because she was too heavy otherwise, to sleep somewhere. But after we moved, then she slept on the couch, and stuff like that. Yeah, but those were the days, and she was, she'd come to dinner, and we all go to my mother's house, and we would eat and laugh, and my mother laughed. There's just so much laughter in the house back then. Really, there was. My aunt was alive, my favorite aunt. She was alive and well. But as the years go by, a lot of things like that change. Like you say, when you get my age, sometimes you don't see a lot of people like before, years before. You walk down the street, you go to the supermarket, a familiar face was nothing, you was, hi everybody, how you doing? And old people walking down the street, you see your old friends walking down the street, or old high school buddy or something like that. But now those are getting rarer and rarer. So that's why we got to enjoy each other now, y'all. Enjoy each other now. And that way you can make some good memories. But I wasn't even going to talk about that. Let's get back to this Vlogmas number. I got to still look to see again. Vlogmas number 18. Y'all better get on your P's and Q's. Uh-huh. See, I'm already done because I was thinking about having it at my house. I'm always thinking about it. But the way my back is hurting me lately here, I've been using my lighter cane just about every day now. I don't have one on now because after I took my little sponge, I didn't put one on. But and I'm not hurting right at this moment. Now I gotta wait until I start feeling some back pain before I actually put it on. I don't just walk around with it on. I think that the instructions were don't wear it more than 12 hours at a time or something like that. I forgot, but I know I don't. If unless my back is really bothering me. Now, when I get up and go in there and try to wash dishes or something like that, if I'm standing for a long time, my back may start to bother me. But then once I sit down, sometimes I'm feeling okay. But then if it starts to hurt while I don't know, okay, she need to drag out the lidocaine patch. And believe me, I got boxes of lidocaine. Yeah, because I don't use them all the time. I don't, like I said before, I don't like to take medication or use anything like that unless I have to. But that little nebulizer, I still didn't figure out what's going on, so I got to call them today. Matter of fact, I should have called them this morning, but you know how I rode. I went back to bed, went back to sleep, and the rest was la la land. That's all I can tell you. But I got to figure out, do I have that? I don't see any other place to put it, like I said, except that one spot. But I'm going to call them on the telephone. And the man, when he delivered it to me, he had asked me, he says, do you want me? He said, well, do you want me to show you how to put it, work it or whatever, or put it together or something like that? He had asked me. And I said, no, I said, it looks pretty simple. I think I can figure it out. He says, okay, and that was that. But now, I mean, putting it together is no problem. I got it together, as you could see. But the one issue is that little round cylinder filter. And they say don't use it without it. That's the part that's getting me, because I don't remember the other nebulizer that I had years ago. I didn't know they had anything about the filters. Just had that and put the medicine in, and that was it. As a matter of fact, my grandson had asthma, ran in our family really bad. Now, let me take a sip of this here. My mouth is kind of dry. Yeah, asthma and that kind of thing runs in the family, especially on my ex-husband's side, because he had asthma when he was a child, real bad. He missed a lot of time out of school and stuff like that. And then I had a daughter that had it kind of bad, and then her son, he had it kind of bad. As a matter of fact, my grandson that passed away. Oh, here I am putting dampers again. But it's just part of the story. I got to talking about, my nebulizer over here. Well, okay, we'll forget about the nebulizer. We'll talk about that some other time. Let's keep it merry. Let's keep it merry. Let's think silent night, holy night. And oh, little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie. I think a lot of people forget about that little song. And what's the other one? Oh, come, all ye faithful. Did y'all forget about those other songs? It seems to be it's just Silent Night that you can think about. Now, I was going to play the drummer boy for you, and I still might on my next video. I got to look it up. But not the other side, not the other drummer boy, the one by the Temptation, because I have the whole album the whole Silent Night by the Temptation, the whole album. But it's on YouTube as well. They go boom, boom, boom. Oh, that's a ring doorbell again. I got my other camera over here just in case, y'all. And just in case you can't hear this video, I'm on my, same old, same old. I'm on my phone, and I'm also on my computer. The computer looks better today, doesn't it? It's not quite as fuzzy. I mean, it's still not clear, crystal clear, but it looks better today than it did yesterday, it seems. Oh boy, what a time I had yesterday. But you know what? The strange thing is, when I told you I couldn't get that picture back, that thing was still recording. There was no picture in front of me, and I realized what had happened. My screen was minimized. What you call it? Minimized. It was minimized. I can't say the word. I can't think of the right word or whatever. Excuse me, y'all. Like I said, my throat is kind of dry. But being that it was way over in the corner, I must have hit the keyboard and didn't realize I had hit it. And that's what had caused that. But there was no picture at all. It was just like a blank screen. And the window was about that small over there on the side. And I kept trying to, click it. But what I should have done was just move the window over. Okay. But sometimes, half of your brain working, half of it ain't, when you get this age, you ain't no telling what might be going on up there in your head, y'all. You just don't think the same. But anyway, there was no, even though I couldn't see a picture, that's what was so confusing to me. I couldn't see the picture. But after I played that video back, that video was still recording when I kept saying I can't see it and this, that, and the third was going on. The camera obviously was still got me. The camera had me, even though I couldn't see me. You know, the camera on here on top of the, let's see if I can, well, you know, on top of the computer, how you got to put the camera up, which today I didn't forget. I did not forget to put the camera up. No, I did not. Good girl today. I was on my P's and my Q's, okay? But yesterday I must have lost my Q. I must have still been on just the P, not on the Q. And while I'm getting really sillier and sillier by the moment, y'all, I guess I'm getting ready to hang up the video. And I guess you probably say, well, you didn't talk about nothing today. But, you know, I'm talking about a little something, something. I let you know that it was the 18th day of Vlogmas and that you got 6 more shopping days left. 6. Think about it. Let them sugar plums dance in your head tonight, y'all. And think about it. You got 6 more days. Now, I know you probably got packages galore stacked up. Oh, this high. Let me ask y'all, did you see Miss Lena's house? You ever watch Miss Lena? Miss Lena's decor. Oh my goodness, her whole house is I mean, she's got the spirit every year. And I'll tell you someone else, Miss Charlene, that be on Van Life with Vanessa, her house. I mean, they go way out at Christmas time. And I'll tell you somebody else who's fantastic. Sharon, she's so fabulous. She's got Fabville going on over there. I think for about the last 3 or 4 years, she's been doing Fabville, and it keeps getting better and better each year. Y'all need to check out that. Check out Sharon, she's so fabulous, and watch her put up this Fabville. And people are sending her a lot of different things, and she's cleaned out her whole house. You know, she's got maybe 2 or 3 rooms worth of it. It is something to look at, y'all, I'll tell you. And I don't know how she do it year after year. And the entanglement that she had in the beginning, I said, oh boy, she's not going to ever get this apart, get this fixed. But she knows her stuff, okay? So, Miss Sharon, congratulations to you. You did that, girl. Keep up the good work. And I'm quite sure a lot of people would love to come to visit to see that in person because it looks fantastic on my television. And on that note, I go with love, and I'll see you again soon. Hello, Vlogmas number 19, coming right up, coming right up. Vlogmas number 19. How do I? Oh, I'm on 2 cameras. Okay, end screen. I want to end it. Yes.